So this is the DRC trying to regain some land. So first of all, we see the DRC basically just getting prepared with its troops on borders. And then after that, we see some other countries wanting to kind of join them, but they don't want, the DRC doesn't want them to because they just want to expand by themselves. And as well as looking at the map, we see that the DRC is not doing good and stuff. But then I see communist DRC pushing in over here, which the normal DRC is not doing well against, which is bad. They send a lot of troops over to the territory just capture most of the DRC. Just retake all the territory that they need for the communists, so that they just change their name back to the DRC. New president elected. And then now that we see a new president, we see Tanzania, Mozambique getting drawn borders, as well as Angola. And soon after, borders are rebuilt. And that's basically the end. Then we see the blue team starting it. So Angola's the blue team. Well, mostly blue team. But then we see the DRC pushing into Angola from the top of Angola. They make a good attack, and then soon after pushing even more down to capture the capital. They take all of the coast, and then soon after take the capital under a few months. And then we see Angola now being the new team over here. That's good for the normal one, it's good, but for the DRC, but Angola's now officially deleted off of the map. And then we see a bit more of people joining in on the team of blue. We see every single country joining in on the blue because they see it's pretty scary not to having to be there. So, because the DRC has an expansion. So, yeah. But the DRC is pretty good at stuff. Because the DRC doesn't think much. They don't see everybody declaring war on the DRC, but not entirely declaring war. Kind of like barely just joining in to make sure they don't die of the DRC. We have all the countries like just saying I don't know how to pronounce countries' names, but Tanzania, these tiny countries get annexed by, and then after annexing those tiny countries, they start pushing into Tanzania, soon after touching the bottom, and soon after capturing the capital after drawing borders for a while. They are able to take the entire place. Tanzania doesn't go down and surrenders, but they don't surrender for a while, and then borders are drawn again. But now we see the expansion of the DRC. Now the DRC is starting to look scary. And then we see the beginning of the war against Mozambique. Mozambique starts getting pushed until they grab it. Wait, no, it's not Mozambique. I got confused with another country, but they're pretty weak, and they take out Rwanda, and they start pushing into the real Mozambique. Just like that, they make a landing in Madagascar, starting to move down and down and down. And then after they move down, we see Madagascar starting to fall off. It's starting to fall. But then soon after, we see new borders against them getting drawn. We see the surrender of the country. Well, not the DRC, but the other country. Borders are drawn, and now that's the end for the new borders. Because of these new borders, the lake is now entirely almost surrounded by them. But then we see them just doing not much, but still pretty good for their own safety. Now, because they're trying to be safe, they did not survive because they're trying to be safe. And then they soon after get entirely annexed by the DRC. And then the DRC starts seeking a way to invade Kenya soon. So they get their troops along the borders of Kenya, and they decide to declare war on the other country. But soon after they annex, then after taking them, they annex the next country. And then the tiny one gets invaded, and then we see the DRC now becoming the scariest country of Africa. Because before this it was South Africa, but now it's the DRC taking the land. Now they start pushing more into Madagascar, and soon after make an island nation get pushed up and then gets destroyed. And then I see the entire island of Madagascar falling under the DRC control. And now it's time for the other countries. They decide to declare war all on the DRC. So Mozambique pushes in from Madagascar and into the DRC more. The entire island of the entire island of Madagascar is reformed. We have them pushing in Angola more. Pushing in as fast as they could. They push in from the bottom, all the countries at the bottom push in, and now the DRC just lost a big lake. But now they just kind of go with it, and then the DRC starts losing stuff really fastly, and then we see the fall of the DRC soon after. But then the DRC pushes out some of their troops, and they push back into more land from Mozambique, and they pushed all the way back into Namibia's borders and takes all the land back except for Madagascar, which is bad for the DRC now that they just got declared on about every country declaring war on them. The economy boosts back up, and they soon after plan to invade Madagascar. The entire island of Madagascar becomes a part of them again. And then we see Madagascar being a pretty bad place to be in right now. But soon after, we see not much happening of borders getting redrawn. All the countries that are bordering them are safe, and then the borders actually go into Kenya. The soldiers actually go in. After a while, they soon after invade the entirety of Kenya, which they surrender after they barely have any land left. And then we have the end of that. And then after that, we see the Blue Army starts to push the DRC out of it. Mozambique pushes up and takes back Madagascar after a while. Soon after pushing back Madagascar, they start their way into, say, Big Bad Gascon country again after the DRC grabbed it. Soon after, we see Somalia taking coastlines off of it, and then the Tanzania basically gets coast. And then we see the push against the DRC going well, and we see most of the land being taken from the DRC, and then we see the new borders getting formed. So first of all, we see Namibia getting just a little bit of it, and then we see the tiny country nation right here gets some land. Soon after, Mozambique gets its territory that it needs. But after getting some territory, Mozambique gets its territory, and then we see Tanzania becoming a country. Kenya becoming a country and becoming a bigger Kenya. Then we see soon after the Mozambique becoming bigger. And now that they are bigger, they start swallowing more borders for the countries that got the land from the DRC. Also, when they invaded it, the DRC was collapsing a lot of times, so that's why they were winning. But if you guys haven't seen my other videos, make sure to go check them out before this one. And the next video should be out soon. And I will see you in the next one. And make sure, if you want to, you can like and subscribe for daily content. Well, not daily, but sometimes. But this is the end video, so bye!